early because I don't know, just because I ain't been live in a few days.
Yesterday?
I was tired.
I don't know what I mean. Updates. I don't know updates on my kids. Oh, they know their jail adjustment yet?
I think, oh, that's your license plate.
Are they trying to find me?
Hello. Hi. Happy Friday. This is Latasha and Elonda, your local real estate expert. This is our third. Oh, thank you. Ooh, my sister said my eyeballs look nice. I'm so sick of your internet. Always having internet issues. So how are you guys today? Happy Friday. I was not live on yesterday because I was just tired. So this episode this week is our third installment. Is the third or the fourth? This is the third or fourth installment of This is Effing Life. So here we talk about everything, my sister and I, because this is just effing life. And we talk about life. So last week we talked about how my sister's entire family was exposed to COVID, and the only person who was COVID positive was her youngest son, who is preparing to go to LSU. Right? Joy. So, hey Sherry, how are you? So, we talked about how her grandchild's mother, whom also was positive, and how the child and the mother, how they were positive, and how it all came about with foolishness and foolery and just being irresponsible and irresponsible behavior. And my sister obviously don't have a mute button on her phone, so we're just gonna let it ring at the loudest possible volume. Well, that means somebody pressed.
That's probably a little girl. I told her some of my damn money for that phone.
Oh, that's the little girl. So, and also the part of last week's episode that we discussed was how my nephew's now girlfriend is just as dumb as the other one, the previous one. So this is the weekly update on what's going on. So Londa, this is my sister Londa. So Londa, what did you have going? Hi, Truly Blessed. So what did you have going this week?
I'm just trying to stay safe because my son was positive for COVID. Thank God that he should be cleared on tomorrow. He had some mild symptoms, which was the cough, the runny nose. He had 100 fever. Maybe for a couple of hours it went back to 98. Nothing really serious, thank God. And this will be his third test. So hopefully tomorrow he'll be clear. Well, they say he's clear, but he just want to make sure that he's negative. And he still can carry it, the symptoms for a couple of months. But other than that, he's fine. My grandson, who's 3, he went a couple of days ago. He was negative.
Oh, really?
But his mom is still positive. Everything is fine. You just don't want it. Even with my youngest son having mild symptoms, it's still scary because I'm in the house with him, and so we have to pretty much duck and dodge each other and wear masks, which is very uncomfortable. Doing it, inside the house, washing your hands and wiping down everything to make sure that you're safe. But we did it.
We did it, Joe.
Yeah, we did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. We did it. Still have to stay safe and cautious. And make sure you wipe down the doors. Even you brush against the wall, because we all do that. We'll brush against the walls. You have to wipe that down. Everything. The chairs. Use your Lysol disinfectant. But other than that, staying prayerful that everyone stays healthy and safe. As you see, I don't have my mask on because I'm sitting outside, and my sister is mask free today. But you just have to be real careful out there. It's scary. Once it hits your household, you don't know. You never know. You just stay safe. But other than that, I'm blessed.
So, other than that, let me see. What else has happened? That's it? Yeah.
Taylor, that crazy shit. But
then we have my nephew, Taylor, who's the father of the child that actually was COVID positive. And He has tested negative three
Three
times now.
times. He just took a fourth test.
He just took a fourth test. He's tested negative 3 times now for COVID. He's about to take a fourth test.
He just took a fourth test.
He just took a fourth test. And the issue is that even though he's coming back negative, he still has COVID symptoms. Like he's still having respiratory issues. The major thing for him is respiratory issues. He hasn't had a fever or anything like that, but he's literally like, I can't breathe, right? At first I thought, well, maybe he was having an anxiety attack and being a little extra because, he is my nephew and being extra is what we do, quite honestly. But he hasn't been being extra. He's actually physically been ill, and now he's being referred to, a pulmonologist? He's being referred to a pulmonologist, and his doctor, his primary care doctor, has requested for him to have an additional COVID test to see if maybe it came back positive, since his son is positive and his child's mother is positive and his brother was positive, but his test has come back negative. And no, he has not taken the rapid COVID test. He's taken the standard COVID test that takes 48 to 72 hours to come back, and they've all been negative. However, he has been having COVID symptoms. So there is some bug
I see him around you.
that's stalking me.
He's been doing that to me too all day.
But
Must be
what
the sweetness.
hey, chocolate. He must like chocolate.
Vanilla as well.
But it's really, really freaky because
He's been complaining. I've noticed he's been complaining about 4 to 6 months now about the same
issues. Yeah. So I
You know
really
what?
thought,
Thinking about it, he's been having that problem since he's working at Toyota.
since he's working at Toyota with all the exhaust fumes, maybe could be. So we'll find out. We'll keep you guys abreast. If in the event that this fourth test come back negative, then we will let you all know. Not that you may be COVID positive or exposed or anything, just to make you aware of possible symptoms that may be out there that has not been, detected, or because as we know, it keeps mutating. By the way, our mask is my sister's mask. It's not that we don't care about our own safety, but we're both fully vaccinated. Let me say that. And we do know that we can still get it. However, we know. But we're not in close proximity. You see me reaching her phone and reaching back, but basically. So we're socially distanced. And but I just wanted to let you all know that if and even it does come back positive, the type of symptoms that he's having, the symptoms are really mimicking COVID symptoms, although his tests have come back negative. So again, he's had the fourth test, so we're waiting for those results to come back. It has not been a rapid test. It's been a standard test that takes 2 to 3 days to get the results back. So we'll keep you all posted on that. So that's what's going on her side of the world. Now it's time to tell y'all my business. So how about I've had a closing this week, which was always a blessing. I'm grateful to God for it. But I have been absolutely freaking exhausted. And that's because, and I'm telling you guys this, not that I'm complaining, but I want you to realize that we're all one family, and I don't want you to do this to yourselves. And trying to be a wife, a mother, a sister, a servant of God, and trying to be an entrepreneur. And for those of you who all are working while pursuing being an entrepreneur, don't forget to rest. Right? I know everybody talk about self-care. Oh, I'm going to do self-care, girl. I'm going to get my nails done. Oh, I got self-care. I'm going to, chill out and go play ball with the homeboys or something like that. Self-care actually means rest. Okay? Rest. I know I'm a firm believer in, if you are hungry, show the people that you're starving, but don't make the mistake that I have made and trying to recover from. Yes, stay active, continue to work on your business. I'm always going to tell you work on your business. I'm always going to tell you work on your credit. I'm always going to try to provide avenues for you to get better and have a better life. And I'm always going to try to lead by example. So this is another avenue in which I'm leading by example. Rest, my babies. Rest. It's important. I know that you want better for your families. I do too. I know that you want to work on your credit and you're trying to work and write these letters and mail them off to creditors. I know that you're trying to research, get your business started. I know you're trying to make sure that your product gets seen and is out there. I know that you're trying to, possibly work 2 or 3 jobs to pay down your debt so you can get your debt to income ratio lower so you can purchase a home. I understand all that. Believe you me, I'm the biggest advocate for wanting you to be great, but don't forget to rest. Don't forget to rest. The reason why I share as much information as I share with you all about disputing things on your credit bureau report, about how adding your rent can boost your credit bureau score, about how to attack things to get them deleted. The reason why I educate you all is because I want you to be better. Is because I want you to be great, but I don't want you to be burnt out either. I don't want you to become obsessed with home ownership to the point that you can't even enjoy the process. Okay? Because it is a process, and it's a very emotionally stressful process. But don't forget that this is supposed to be one of the greatest things to happen to your life. This is supposed to be your moment and no other moment like this. But don't get obsessed with it to the point where you're not enjoying it. Don't get so overworked in your mind that now you're working 2 and 3 jobs to save money to buy this home, and then you finally get in this home and you can't enjoy it because you still got to work 60 damn jobs to keep it. So be diligent in your goal, but also be flexible in your process. Don't overwhelm and overburden yourself. This is why I give you the cheats that I give you, because in reality, it's a cheat, right? I give you a cheat code. Did you have any idea that paying your rent on time for 2 years would increase your credit score by 100 points? That's a cheat. Do you know how hard it is to get just your credit report to go up 10 points? Just 10? So, I give y'all the cheats. So you don't have to do the hard labor and the stressful things to make it easier for you. So take the easy way out. It's okay. Y'all know he performing just because he behind my back, but I swear y'all, I will slap the red off of him. Anyway.
Say hi, Justin. Say I'm getting better.
What's up, y'all? You want to see my abs?
No, we don't. Anybody got sanitizer? He touched my finger. But I tell you all these things so you can be better, right? Spray as much as possible. Because I want you guys to be better and I want you guys to have better. So since we're talking about credit, let's go ahead and go over it, okay? Right. Number 1, your credit score needs to be a minimum, at absolute minimum, to purchase a home at this state in America, at least a 620. You may can skirt by with a 615, but you're going to have a higher interest rate. So the minimum credit score is going to be a 620. Do know that when he opened the car door, was that my car he touched and opened the door? I know you lying. I know you lying. Is that my keys he got too? Oh, this motherfucker.
You go straight in.
He trying to kill. My nephew trying to kill me, y'all. He know I'm 46 years old with a compromised immune system. Shit, I'm coughing already. Damn. Nephew trying to get me COVID. Anyway. So you done touched my keys. So, moving on. You need to have at least a minimum credit score of 620, okay? In addition to that, having a minimum credit score of 620, you need to have your debt to income ratio down as low as possible. Now, the ideal number is at least 30%, right? However, let's be a little realistic. It's going to be hard. So if you can get it to at least 40%, there's a lot of programs that you can still get a home with a 40% debt to income ratio. Okay? So, what am I doing? I didn't go live yesterday, so I'm going live today.
Here.
Oh, because I came to get the stuff that you just gave me. So, also do know that NACA is a great program with 0 down payment, 0 closing costs, and no fees. However, keep in mind that Synovus banks also offer a product that's very similar. However, it is based upon credit.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm literally choking, not because of him. I'm just choking. Y'all,
Didn't spray?
the lights on my sister's spray trying to kill me.
I don't know.
Jesus.
I heard about
It
that
was-
fire though.
That Lysol she sprayed, y'all, she trying to kill me. Oh, thank me for knacking. You're welcome, baby. Thank me for knacking. No, baby. Don't even thank me. Y'all, she sprayed that Lysol. I smell like I'm about to die now. Anywho, if you have a 633 credit score and your debt to income ratio is at least 640, it's at least 40%, you can qualify for the Synovus AMP program. That's A as in Apple, M as in Mary, P as in Paul. So you may be eligible for that as well. So there are programs out there to help you as well if you don't have a lot of money. So since we're talking about, now we're going to segue into if I don't have a lot of money. How can I purchase a home? Easy. There's something that's called down payment assistance that you may be eligible for. So to find out if you're eligible for down payment assistance, I want you to Google the words down payment assistance plus your state. For example, I'm in Florida. Down payment assistance in Florida. All the programs that you may be eligible for will pop you up. You need to read. So now you're going to say, well, Tosh, what about closing costs? Boom. I got you there too. When you are looking for mortgage companies, the number one question I want you to ask besides how much are you going to charge me? Because remember, they're a mortgage company. They're in the business of making money. So ask them how much you're going to charge them. But also ask them, can my closing costs be rolled into my loan? Which means if you have your closing costs rolled into your loan, plus you get down payment assistance, you very well can walk away from the table with nothing out of pocket. You're clear to closing. The close amount that you may need could possibly be zero. And if you got a really good deal and a really gangster realtor like myself, you could possibly walk away getting a check. It's still possible. Even with these sky high prices, it's still possible. But the only way for it to be possible is to have the knowledge. Is PenMac a good mortgage company? I've never heard of them, but that does not mean that they're not a good mortgage company. The mortgage companies that I typically deal with myself is Loan Depot, Synovus Bank, Annie Mac, and Great Rate. Those are the companies that I deal with on a more frequent basis. But just because I've never heard of them does not mean that they may not be a good company. Always do your due diligence. Read the reviews. I don't care if you're buying a piece of cheese, y'all. Read the reviews. And, try to interview others to see what kind of experience that they've had. But remember, we're always checking with more than one lender because different lenders can offer you different things and different products. Not everybody has the same thing. When it comes down to lending, it's not one size fits all. So you do have to actually do your work. But when you do the work and you do the investigation, you will come out the better. Because you always want to know what their fees are. So let's say, for example, you may charge me $500 to process, but the other one may charge me $200 to process. But the other company that's offering me $200 to processing fees, they may be offering me an interest rate of 2.5%. But you might charge me $500 to process it, but you giving me offering me an interest rate of 1.5%. Well, hell, I'm gonna go ahead and pay this $500 and get this 1.5% because a little at the beginning is gonna save me a whole lot monthly at the end. Make sense? I hope so. So let's compare the rates and let's make good, smart decisions. Okay? So don't just fall in love with the first company that approves you. No. Mortgage companies and men are both like buses. You miss one bus, wait a little while, you're going to catch the next one. For a first-time home buyer, it's 4.125% high or average. For first-time home buyers, it depends. I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to tell you there's a lot of things that go into that. I'm going to go into this formula, okay? number one, keep in mind your interest rate is based upon what your credit score is, and your buying power is, that's an income ratio. So I don't know what your credit score is, and don't put your business out here in public. Just DM me. But I'm gonna say on average, the highest that my clients has paid, my clients, and thinking about all the people who have purchased within the last year, and I'm gonna say calendar year, has been about 3.5. 3.5 is the highest, and we're about to close on that house, and I'm mad that it's 3.5. I want them to switch lenders, but it's too late in the game for them to switch lenders, because when I told them to switch lenders, they didn't listen, and they locked in their rate recently, and it's 3.5, and I'm mad. And now they're like, oh, can we switch lenders? Hell no, we about to close in 2 weeks. It's too late. So with all of that being said, shop around, my baby, see what somebody else has to offer you. It could be less. Okay? Have we cleared the air from Lysol? Can I breathe again?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's hot out there in that sun. I mean, I'm a chocolate bunny, but damn.
You say you want to come around me?
I'm not around you. I'm over here hiding. But that was a very good question, Cleveland Todd. And thank you for asking. So yeah, shop around, and don't be afraid to ask questions, right? Remember, your mortgage company works for you. Your realtor works with you.
Ooh, I have a question.
It better be a valid question, Justin. What?
I think it's valid.
It sounds like it's about to be stupid. I'm gonna pass.
Question.
What's your question, Justin?
So you came here to get your stuff, right?
Moving on. I knew it was gonna be something stupid, y'all. Anyway,
you got it. Why you say? Hello.
So it's important to remember that the mortgage companies work for you. If you shop around, doesn't affect your credit score. Good question. So let's talk about it. If you're doing it within a 10 to 14 day window, then it's like one pull. It's like kind of like when you're purchasing a car, right? Each time you pull your car with different creditors, it doesn't, that initial pull is going to be the hard pull. Everything after is pretty much like a shadow, right? So it's the same concept, okay? What happened with a car loan is that when you go for a car loan, the multiple pulls doesn't drag down your score, saying each person who hits is about three points. It doesn't work that way. You might get, the initial hit will be anywhere from 3 to 6 points, kind of like the same thing with the home. But when you have multiple different creditors pulling it, what happens is that you'll just get multiple inquiries, which we can get that deleted any day anyway. But it's pretty much the same concept as purchasing a car. It has to be done within a certain window so it doesn't affect. So like if you're going, let's say today you apply with Loan Depot, tomorrow you apply with Synovus, and then you apply with Great Rate the next day. So you'll start to get your answers all about the same time, and it'll be pretty much considered like one pull, but you're able to do a comparison. Now, I'm not saying, okay, I got approved for it, and that, okay, I got approved for my home loan, and now it's good for 90 days, so now I want to go and apply with somebody else now 30 days later. No, that's going to be a second pull. So you want to do things within a time frame. So keep in mind, it's important to have a plan of action. You're purchasing a home. This is a potentially 30-year contract. Note that I said potential, and I said that for a reason, and we'll cover that later. But it's potentially a 30-year contract, right? So with this potential 30-year contract, you can't take it lightly. You have to do your homework. You have to do your due diligence. You have to investigate. You have to have a plan of action. It's like if you went to see your doctor for a cough and your doctor said, I'm sending you to an oncologist, which is a cancer doctor, you about to be Googling everything and have a whole bunch of damn questions before you get to that office. And I want you to have that same seriousness about it. Okay? So before you go, you need to really, really, really read up, research, ask questions, right? Like you asked me this question, continue to ask questions. Do something like go to different websites for different lenders and use the mortgage calculator. Play with it. Make sure you make a budget for yourself. Don't let the mortgage company determine what your budget should be. They're going to tell you how much you can afford based upon your credit, but they're not taking into consideration things like, utilities, daycare, groceries, car insurance, gas. They're not taking those things into consideration. They're just looking at what's on your credit bureau report as your outstanding bills, right? So what if you have a bill that's not on your credit bureau report? They're not considering that. That's not under consideration. So you have to consider those things. What the lender says, if your lender comes to you and they say, okay, we're going to approve you for $300,000 because based upon your credit, you could afford that payment each month, then that's time for you to ask yourself, can I afford this payment each month? Or do I really need to look for a house that's about $275 or $250 versus $300? What's the point of purchasing a home when you're putting yourself in a situation where you have to constantly work and you won't ever be able to enjoy it? This is one of those situations where you have to make a good decision because you don't want to you want to be a homeowner. You don't want the home owning you. It's like when we go out and we purchase a car, we're like, I want this nice luxury vehicle. I want to ride around in this Jag. But wait, how much is it going to cost to get that Jag all changed? Versus you done had a Honda, ergo, which is why I still drive my Honda, and I will be. I don't care how much money I make, y'all. I'm gonna be in a Honda. You're interested? Come on, have a seat. What's saying? What do you have to do? Well, first of all, you just did overdrawn credit, but I staggered at 611. How do I get a bump? All right, I'm gonna answer your question. So what do you have to do? The first thing you have to do is pull your credit. Well, no shit. Let's back that up, Don. The first thing you have to do is follow me. Follow me. That's the first thing. Follow me. First thing. Okay. That's since we passed that. The second thing. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me. Follow me. Okay. That's the second thing. Now, in all seriousness, the first thing you need to do is actually take a look at your credit. Right, on your own home, but not home on. Oh, okay. I ain't even. Girl, that was catchy, huh? I ain't even realize I said that. Look at me. I'm located in Tallahassee, Florida, but I do travel. So, okay. So step one. Let's look at your credit. Okay. There's a link in my bio. It's called MyFICO. MyFICO. You want to sign up for the $29.95 version. What you're going to get is a breakdown of your credit score. Let me explain how it's going to break down your credit score. It's just not going to tell you what your score is for Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian because you're quite accustomed to Experian Boost give you all those scores. Great. But herein lies the difference. With MyFICO, it's going to break it down for you where the MyFICO is going to break it down, whereas you will have, so if I got pre-approved in June, it's only valid. Usually they'll tell you on the letter that it's good for either 90 days or 120. It's usually in the letter. Okay? So, when you go to MyFICO, it's going to break it down to, it's going to say Equifax, TransUnion, Experian. Then it's going to say under Equifax that you have 3 scores. 1 for credit cards and loans, 1 for mortgages, and 1 for vehicles. And it'll break it down for each individual credit bureau like that. So in actuality, you don't have 1 score, you have actually a total of 9 scores. Okay? So, and MyFICO breaks it down like that. It also will tell you, the other general stuff about your debt to income ratio, your utilization, all that great stuff. But it's my personal favorite because it breaks it down into 9 scores, right? Oftentimes, you'll look at your score and you'll see your score is like 650, 700, whatever. Then you go to apply for a loan or you apply for a car. And what happens? Then you get denied. And you're wondering, well, damn, why? Because each different credit type uses a different algorithm to determine what your score is. And MyFICO breaks it down for you. So that's the benefit of that, which is why I like it. So that's going to be step 1. Step 2 is when you get your credit bureau report, I want you to add up how much you make so you know how much you make a year. Take that number and then add up all of what your payments are showing on your credit bureau report. and you're going to divide one by the other. That's going to tell you your debt to income ratio, which is important. So what you can do is, if you're wanting to know what that is, or how to figure out that formula, if you don't remember what I said, just Google it. Google it tells you. And there's a calculator out there that just pretty much plug and play. So let's say your credit score isn't where it needs to be. Okay, so your credit score is about 600, like you said, 611, and you want to make it move. Okay, let's make it move. Oftentimes when people are looking at their credit score, they think that the best way to make their credit score move is by deleting bad things, which is good, okay? Because when you're deleting negative things, yeah, it will boost your score. But if you're looking at something to boost it like 50, 60, 100 points, you're going to do something a little more clever than just having things removed. It's a balancing act. As you have something removed, you need to add something positive. Because the thing that makes your credit bureau report and your score really, really move is your payment history. How can we do that, Tosh? Simple. 1, there's a link in my bio for Self. Self is a self-lending program, which is actually you're purchasing a CD. They're not doing a hard pull on your credit. You start making these payments. Let's say if they approve you for $500. You start making these payments and go into your savings account. All while it's going to your savings account, it's appearing as a positive payment, right? So that's going to boost your score. At the end, once you paid the $500, you get your money back. Sounds like a win to me. If once you pay at least $100 into it, they're going to offer you a secure card, which is another way to boost that credit score, a secure card. So now we've explored Self, which is certificate deposit. 2, now we know we can get a secure card. There's a third option that's going to really make that score jingle, 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 jingle. That's by adding alternative credit. That's when you add things like your utilities, your car insurance, your cell phone bill, your cable bill, your rent to your credit bureau report. So if that's appearing as payments that are on time, child, if you just add your rent alone and you've been paying on time for the last 2 years, your score will jump anywhere from 40 to 100 points in 2 weeks to a month. Just give it a chance to update. You're welcome. Any other questions? So now, if you have negative things on your credit report and you're wondering how to get rid of them, you need help, you're lost, Tosh, you know what you're talking about? Come on, keep sharing. Tosh, what do I do? Simple. You need help, you're lost, Tosh, you know what you're talking about? Come on, keep sharing. Tosh, what do I do? Simple. Sorry guys, that was a builder calling me, so I'm gonna have to call him back, but let me wrap it up real quick. So there's a link in my bio for credit repair. Y'all cannot afford, including myself, we cannot afford to have bad credit. When we have bad credit, we pay more for every damn thing. Every damn thing. We have more deposits for our utilities. We have more deposits when we're renting a place or leasing a place. We have to pay more when we're renting a car because we're trying to go out of town. We're trying to be great. We're using our debit cards. They're holding half of our money that we need to be great with. So we can't really afford to have bad credit. How do we fix it? Link in my bio for credit repair. Hit the link, sign up. I'll see you guys later on this evening about 8:30 where we're really going to have class that's going to require pen and paper. I'm Latasha McDowell, your local real estate coach here in Tallahassee, Florida.